I think my best friend has been low-key flirting with my boyfriend for years, and I feel stupid for ignoring it. Okay, so I don't even know where to start. But I feel like I need to get this off my chest, because it's been sitting in the back of my mind for literal years. I, 23F, have this friend group from high school. Like, we've all known each other forever. Trauma bonded, grew up together, all that cliche stuff. There's me, my boyfriend Brad, 24M. We've been together since we were teenagers. He's literally my first everything. Another guy who moved away for college, and then there's Kylie, 23F. Kylie and I have history. Like, we've been super close, then not talking, then best friends again, then fighting. It's always been kind of intense with her. But she's also one of those people that just pulls you in. Super social, super confident, always the center of attention. She's also never really had a stable relationship. She goes through guys pretty fast. And her longest relationship lasted a few months. Maybe. She always says all men are trash. And honestly, Brad and I have tried talking to her about it. Like, maybe it's expectations, maybe it's patterns. But she just laughs it off. Now, here's the thing that's been bothering me. For years, I felt this weird tension between her and Brad. Nothing obvious. Nothing I could point to and say, this is wrong. But like, little things. The way she laughs, just a little too hard at his jokes. The way she touches his arm when she talks. The way she looks at him sometimes. Like she's in on something I'm not. I brought it up before. More than once. Brad always reassured me. He said something like, yeah, she can be flirty, but that's just how she is. I don't see her like that. And honestly, I believe him. He's always been steady, safe. Kylie, on the other hand, she literally laughed when I mentioned it once and said, if I wanted him, he would have been mine a long time ago. And I don't know why, but that sentence just stuck with me. Like, who says that? At the time I brushed it off. I didn't want to be that girlfriend, the insecure one, the jealous one, especially over someone who's been in my life for so long. But lately I keep replaying things in my head, and I'm starting to feel like maybe I've been ignoring something I shouldn't have. I don't think Brad would ever cheat on me, but I'm not so sure about Kylie anymore. And now I'm wondering if I've been the only one in this dynamic who didn't fully understand what was going on. AITA, for snapping at my friend and being mad at my boyfriend after what happened at a bar. Okay, I didn't think I'd be updating this, but things escalated, and now I genuinely don't know if I'm overreacting, or if I've been way too patient for way too long. So, Kylie started seeing someone new. And you're not going to believe this. His name is Brad. Yeah, Brad. She introduced him to us on a double date, which, by the way, has basically become her tradition at this point. Every second guy she dates gets approved by us. She said she wanted our blessing. But honestly, it always felt like something else. Like she was performing. She was extra touchy, extra flirty, especially in front of my Brad. Laughing louder, leaning more, just doing the most. And I swear it felt like she was trying to make him jealous, or get a reaction, or prove something. Anyway, about 2 weeks after that double date, my Brad came home from work acting weird. Like, immediately off. He barely talked, locked himself in his office. Avoided me. We went to bed, and after like an hour of pretending to sleep, I asked him what was going on. And he goes, Kylie sent me a nude today. Yeah. I literally sat up in bed. He said he didn't understand why she sent it, and when he asked her, she said it was an innocent mistake, and that she meant to send it to her boyfriend, which already sounded like the biggest BS excuse I've ever heard. I asked him why he didn't tell me right away, and he said he felt guilty, like he was somehow getting in the middle of me and my childhood friend. And that's when something kind of clicked for me. Because the truth is, Kylie hasn't really been that close to me for a long time. Me. Not like we used to be. And the way she's been acting these past few months has made me feel borderline crazy. So we actually had a really good conversation. We agreed to just politely distance ourselves from her. We live in the same neighborhood, so it's not like we can fully avoid her. But still, fast forward to a few nights ago. A new bar opened nearby, and we decided to go check it out for happy hour. We got there kind of late, the place was packed, but we managed to find a spot at the bar. These tall chairs on a slightly raised platform. We were actually having a really good time. Laughing, drinking, just enjoying ourselves. And then, out of literally now here, Kylie shows up, already drunk. She invites herself to sit with us. And before I can even process what's happening, she sits on my boyfriend's lap. Like it's the most normal thing in the world. And then she starts going on about how she and her boyfriend broke up. Shocking, I know. And how she just wants a relationship like ours. How she wants a guy like mine. At this point I was tipsy, not gonna lie. Brad looked completely uncomfortable and honestly kind of frozen. So I just said it. Loud. Like, loud enough that people around us probably heard. I told her she should go throw herself at a single guy. Not my boyfriend. She immediately got defensive and was like, he's my friend too. We've known each other since high school. And then somehow it turned into this whole argument. At some point, the focus shifted to Brad. And I told him, straight up, to tell her the truth. That they're not really friends like that. That the only reason he even has a connection with her is because of me. And he just stayed quiet. Didn't defend me. Didn't set a boundary. Nothing. Meanwhile, she's yelling at me, and then she turns to him and asks him to walk her home and take care of her. That was it for me. I just felt. Walked home alone. Didn't talk to him the rest of the night. The next morning, he told me it wasn't fair that I put him in that position. And I told him it wasn't fair that he didn't shut it down the second she sat on him. So now I'm here wondering, AITA for snapping at Kylie and being mad at Brad? Or have I been ignoring red flags for way too long? No updates for now, but knowing the situation, there probably will be. If you want the next part when it drops, subscribe to Juicy Story. Anyway, here are some of the top comments. Comment. Honestly, I might be in the minority here, but I don't think Kylie is this evil mastermind you're making her out to be. Some girls are just like that. Super physical, super flirty, very open with their bodies and attention. Especially if she's had a pattern of short relationships. It might just be how she seeks validation without even realizing how it comes off. The nude thing could have actually been a mistake. It happens more than people admit. I'm not saying her behavior is appropriate. Sitting on your boyfriend is definitely crossing a line. But I do think there's a chance she doesn't see it the same way you do. If you still care about her at all, it might be worth having one very direct, sober conversation and setting clear boundaries. Instead of just cutting her off completely. Comment 2. Girl, I'm sorry but your boyfriend is the real problem here. A grown man doesn't just sit there while another girl, especially your friend, sits on his lap and disrespects you like that. He should have shut that down immediately. And the fact that he stayed silent when you asked him to clarify boundaries? That's not being put in a tough position. That's him avoiding accountability. Also, not telling you about the nude right away? Huge red flag. I don't care how guilty he felt. You've been together since you were teenagers, so I get why you trust him. But honestly, he doesn't sound mature enough to protect the relationship. You deserve someone who has your back without hesitation. Comment 3. I'm gonna be blunt. You kind of set yourself up for this. You said you've been noticing this behavior for years. The flirting, the tension, the comments. And you kept brushing it off because you didn't want to seem jealous. Now it exploded in the worst possible way. In public, while you were drunk, and you basically forced your boyfriend into a corner. Instead of handling it privately like an adult. Telling him to say we're not really friends, only because of me in front of her? That's messy and honestly unfair to him. Yes, Kylie crossed lines, but you also ignored those lines for a long time and then reacted all at once. This whole situation could have been avoided with earlier boundaries and better communication. So, now I want to hear from you guys. Do you think Kylie is actually a real friend? And do you think this relationship is going to survive? Let me know in the comments.